I think it really says something about the fact that when you boil all of this down, it is always the least effort. And these are the guys who tell you not to be a try hard. And this is why at PodAwful, we try harder. So when I say I'm, working on cool stuff, and I had to take a week off to make cool stuff, it's because I'm trying to make things. And I know that it takes me so long to do it, that by the time I do, these things will be done a million times, old hat, or just other people will do it a month after me, and then I'll look like an idiot. But I gotta do it. I gotta try. I cannot believe that these people are allowed to get away with this shit. And I think that the most important thing to take away from all of this is that these guys, they were able to run to their little alt platforms and try to carve out a niche. And that's a fine thing. In that time, how many people did I have telling me that when I lost my YouTube channel, I need to go to Rumble? Okay? And I hope you're starting to see why I don't do it. I hope you're starting to see why I don't take these alt platforms very seriously, especially Rumble. Because I know Rumble's got fake views. So these guys run off to these hidden little, pockets, these bubbles. The thing that in 2016, they hated Bubbles. Now they love Bubbles. Because she is the joy and the laughter of the team. They love being in their little bubble now, and it's about to be popped. Rumble's going to go away. And while a bubble's a fine thing, because in a bubble, amongst like-minded people, you could incubate new ideas. But grifters, right-wing grifters specifically, are bereft of ideas. They are no-trying idiot losers who want to stall forever. These are the guys talking about stuck culture the most, but they can't get out of 2016. And they don't want to. And they want to drag you back into it. They don't want this shit to go away because it still brings in some money. They don't realize that they're becoming the boomers that they make fun of. And when they're in this bubble, it's happening even more. That's how boomers became boomers. They moved to fucking, you guessed it, Florida, get in their little bubble, and think that the way they think and are is how the world works and how everything is. And so while they're over there in the safety of Rumble, and they've got their fake numbers, ROTC thinks they're doing just fine. And that everything's going to work out. Now, in reality, they know the numbers are fake because they know how much money they're getting in. And they know how much they're interacting with people. And while I'm sure there was some sort of initial boost from getting that Rumble contract, at some point they plateaued and maybe even started to fall off. Revenge of the Sis gets back on YouTube and the bubble fucking pops. Now, here's how you know Rumble's not going well. They got their YouTube back and they were H2BH over on YouTube. They were back on it lickety split. Let's see if we can get those YouTube guys back, because over on YouTube, they've got 43.5 thousand subscribers. It was probably more than that when they got banned. Now, let me go over to rumble.com. Rumble, they have 51.5 thousand followers. They have more followers on Rumble. Okay, so they come back. They go live on YouTube. Now, you're probably thinking, wait, don't these guys have a contract with Rumble? Are they even allowed to go live? Isn't it like an exclusivity contract with Rumble where they're not allowed to stream on other platforms? And I'm thinking the same thing. I'm a little confused by this too, but they went live. They went live on YouTube and they got 2.4 thousand views. This channel has 43,000 subscribers. There are people who don't even know they went to Rumble. They think that ROTC just disappeared. You heard it earlier in this show. When I get banned from YouTube, there are people who watch the show every single episode and don't know what happened because it's not on YouTube anymore. These people.
I guess the show is over.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess that's it. I don't get to like the thing no more. I mean, you're a dummy if you're that person, but most people are dummies. Now, if you go onto the video, here's an interesting thing. You go into the video and you read the comments. Every comment is about how much Rumble sucks. 1 hour uninterrupted and 1 hour hearing about solar Patriot generators every 5 minutes. Apparently, Rumble is now playing ads every 5 minutes during streams. They're worse than YouTube on advertisements. And again, Fox News style grandma at solar Patriot generators. It's so funny. Someone says, as much as I love the idea of Rumble, is equal to the amount I hate using Rumble. I'll take 1 hour of the show over having to struggle with Rumble's platform. I'm happy you guys are doing both, though. No shit. Right back to watching on YouTube, just like it should be. This guy says he thinks he's going to get to watch ROTC, but they're doing something insidious. They're doing something, by the way, that's breaking YouTube's TOS, which I had to find out the hard way. Here's what happens on YouTube now. Watch this. They're 20 minutes in.
For the first hour, second hour, Rumble, both hours Rumble, first hour YouTube. You guys will figure it out. I mean, I have faith in you. You guys aren't a bunch of nincompoops, okay? So thank you so much. Nice to be back. But it's time for us to leave because we gotta go have fun. Okay. So
it's so much more fun over on Rumble because they can say the N-word over there. And then this happens. There's an overlay. It says, enjoy this on. And this means, you don't know this because you're normal, but this is the Locals logo. And you're probably going, what the fuck is Locals? I thought they were live on Rumble. I don't know either. I'm fucking a professional at this shit, and I can't figure this out. I guess Locals...
That's the Nick Rekieta platform, right?
It's the right-wing Patreon. It's the Patreon where you can say the N-word, I guess. And I think it's built into Rumble to some degree. As you can see, it's got Rumble Studio at the top as well. Every comment is complaining about how much Rumble sucks. This video... And by the way, it's still playing. This is not paused. This video is now a giant hour and 50-minute long ad for Rumble, and there's no more audio, and you can barely see the screen for the rest of the time. It says, enjoy this on a random logo you've never seen before. This is psycho. This took me a minute. I've seen this before, and I never even thought about it. It says, enjoy this on https://revengeofthesis.locals.com/ upost/618264. Don't turn that dial. Hang on a second. I'm still reading the URL.
Where's the hyperlink?
Am I supposed to type this in? Why doesn't it just say go to revengeofthesis.com/locals?
It's not in the description.
It probably is, but that's not the point. Why does it say the full URL like that?
Yeah.
/locals-episode-179-doxed-and-confused. Are you kidding me? And this is against the rule. This is 100%. You are not allowed to do this on YouTube. This is tricking people into going to another platform offsite. Remember when I got banned for doing that? Mm-hmm. That was the scams, spam, and deceptive practices thing. So that thing that YouTube is saying they're bringing people back for now, they're doing it. And by the way, they're doing it on every single thing that they post now on YouTube. Look at this. So that one's their Locals one. That's their Pizza Fund episode. That's their Primo, right?
Hours full show. Both hours are going to be on Rumble, obviously, which is, listen.
Okay. So then you go to this one, and looks like you can see the whole thing, I guess. Look, here we go. Let's go right here.
Search for Revenge of the Sis. We should be on the...
We're an hour in.
Front page. You can find us there.
2-hour show.
Or, of course, please head over to Locals. That's the way you could really help us. But time for us to get...
and then enjoy this on Rumble. You cannot, and by the way, I am not telling anybody to go report. Please do not fucking report them. That's a bullshit rule. I understand why YouTube has it. Don't fucking report people off of YouTube so that we can't fucking cover these. I would never be able to do this episode if they didn't get back on YouTube, but that's an interesting point too. They're back on YouTube. Now, there was, I think, a screenshot of an email posted saying, oh, you've been let back onto YouTube. But I have always had this odd feeling about their supposed ban from YouTube. They never seemed very concerned about it. And it came out of nowhere. And they still had that clip channel, which you're not allowed to have. You don't get to keep your other channels when you get banned on YouTube. I know this for a fact. And they never bothered making a new YouTube channel, which is odd. Daywave didn't get taken down. Nightwave didn't get taken down at first. It didn't get taken down because he's on two channels. That's what you would think. You would think he's ban evading, so they took down Nightwave. But no, Daywave's never been taken down. And it happened at the same time that they signed an exclusivity contract with Rumble, that all of a sudden their YouTube was taken down. Well, the scuttlebutt around town for over a month now has been their contract's coming up. In fact, it's not scuttlebutt. Mersh has said it. And it doesn't sound good. It's sounding grim. It's sounding like they think they're not getting renewed.
Thanks, Social Observer for 5. Back to self-censoring again. Yay. Shut up, you fucking tryhard. Stop paying your taxes. Yuck, yuck. Shut up. Tired of you two. Now everybody's all concerned. Well, when are you gonna go back to YouTube? What about what? We still have a contract with Rumble for now. I think it's a pretty good bet we're probably not getting that contract renewed after after what I heard today.
So isn't it interesting that a month out from their contract, their exclusive contract at Rumble coming up and possibly being terminated or not being renewed at the very least, isn't it fascinating that suddenly their YouTube channel is back? Went away when they started using Rumble, came back when they're getting kicked off. Something odd to that. Now, I have no proof of this. I have no way to prove something like this. But doesn't it seem possible or perhaps even likely that they just turned off their own? Can you do that? Can you just shutter your own YouTube channel? Are you allowed to take it down temporarily and bring it back up? I don't know. I know you can do that with a Twitter account. I think they only let you do that for 30 days or something, but it's a thing. It's a thing on other websites. I'm not sure if that is a thing on YouTube, but if it is a thing, then that's what they did. Let's be clear about something. Here's the new lore of the net. Number one, it doesn't matter whether this is true or not, okay? Fuck them. Number one, ROTC took their own YouTube channel down. It's never been a dangerous time to be a comedian for the N-word guys. So many people. How many other channels do you watch where they get away with saying stuff like that? That's not it ever. And they will tell you. I've heard them say this. They've said it to me. That they got kicked off of YouTube because of covering the paranormal stuff, the Dan Schneider, the pedo stuff. Those videos are still on their channel. I saw them today. They have an entire playlist on YouTube for it. I'll show it to you. Take a look at this. You go to their playlist and you go to, oh, here it is. Dan Schneider coverage. 12 videos. And by the way, these aren't just clips. This one's a clip. But you go down the list here and you've got hour and 47 minute long, hour and 39 minute, 59 minute, 2 hours. So that didn't get them kicked off. So, sorry, ROTC, you didn't get kicked off of YouTube. You chose to leave because you got a Rumble contract and then you failed at it. And the saddest part of all, and this is again part of the lore now, they ripped off Flecka's Talks. What's that? I said earlier in the show that Flecka's Talks started in 2022. So Flecka's Talks was first. And their entire vaporwave aesthetic comes from Flecka's Talks. And the way they are, in fact, Royce grew out his beard to look like Flecka's. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? Because if enough people say it, it's true. I know that's how it works because Mersh just makes shit up about me all the time. Mersh said on his show just the other day that PodAwful reported him off of YouTube.
The only thing they do, and it kind of works, is they tattle. So if I tweet something that's offensive, a bunch of fucking PodAwful and Reddit people are like, let's mass flag this tweet. Let's get his shit taken down, dude.
And then he had the nerve to follow that up with that he doesn't do that because then he can't talk about the people on YouTube. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
Getting kicked off
That's
doesn't...
exactly what you said.
Yeah, it
about
is.
him.
It is exactly what I said about him.
You've been saying that.
And also, there is documented evidence that Mersh has not reported me just to YouTube, but to the fucking police. I am the guy reporting... I thought I was the guy that makes his living off of making fun of Mersh. Do I only cover Mersh or not? Because that's what Mersh says. So why would I kick you off of YouTube? Does that make any sense? But that's the lore. And that's the lore according to his audience. And by the way, here's the lore according to his audience. That I ripped off Sam Hyde's podcast set, even though I had my set a year before he even had a podcast. Oh, is that how that works? Tell that to Flecka's Talks. Tell that to their giant audience compared to your gnat-sized audience. Because let's take a look at these live videos. So they've streamed 3 times on YouTube since getting back on there. 43,000 subscribers. Their big episode back, 2.4 thousand views. Their next episode, and this is the real one where you get to see an hour of the show before they cut it off, 3.8 thousand views. Now, remember when we used to say they probably get like 4,000 views and then buy about 12 to 16,000 views on every episode because we know Royce does that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not worth buying on YouTube when you're putting all your chips on Rumble. This episode, their most recent one, 2 days ago, 2.8 thousand views. This is a huge channel. These guys have so many people that want to see. Help them out. And again, this episode, by the way, guess what? Enjoy this on the longest URL you've ever seen in your life. Every comment, once again.
Otherwise, people are going to come for everything. And that's not coming from me. I'm just telling you how the internet works. If I get a little bit out of line on the internet, these are going to hold me to account. And if they don't, then Kiwi Farms will, the fucking PodAwful's, the Reddits, the Keno casinos, they'll hold me to account. Don't fuck with me.